12 rounds, ding ding. Sick and tired of the whole damn thing, yeah. Stick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. Be lucky if I stick around. Maybe foolish, but I ain't a clown. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, 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 no. Got the belt like a king. Heavyweight champion of the whole damn thing, yo. Full of gas, full of spin. Jekyll and Hyde, you're the evil twin. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, you're never gonna. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. Be lucky if I stick around. Maybe foolish, but I ain't a clown. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, 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 no. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. Be lucky if I stick around. Maybe foolish, but I ain't a clown. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, 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 no.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Burton Automotive Pro, the last major qualifying series event for this region, but there's so much more going on here at Surfest in 2023. We want to thank, of course, Reflections Holiday Parks, the presenting sponsor of this contest, and looking forward to getting competition underway. But this is a special treat, what we have for you this afternoon. Some legends of the game, some real icons are going to hit the lineup today with some of our corporate partners, and we're going to tell you more about them in a moment. But this is a special lineup. Ronnie Blakey joined by the big bro, Vaughan. And Vaughno, I know this lineup of surfers out there, it's got you excited, mate. Always a treat.
Lovely to see you, Ron, and wonderful to be back at Surfest. And we are in for a treat because we've got 3 Australian Surfing Hall of Famers in the lineup for this expression session, plus a 3-time winner, a woman who is in the Hall of Fame here at Surfest, that's for sure, Beck Woods, alongside Jodie Cooper, Pauline Menczer, and Pam Burridge. It does not get much better than that. Pam Burridge, the 1990 world champion, back in the Rashi here at Surfest, a former champ of all these women have won here, Ron. And how good is it to see Pam?
Oh, unbelievable. And there's Tessa McKenna, who's been calling Surfest since, well, there was still dinosaurs walking around when Tessa first started. But, yeah, he's just an absolute icon himself. So great that he's able to introduce those champions to the stage, and each of them representing some of the companies that are right behind Surfest. Pam's going to be surfing for Hyperweb. Pauline Mentzer's out there. She's going to be surfing for Power Earth. Property Solutions 101. Newcastle's premier buyer's agent. They're going to be represented by Jodie Cooper. And then Ost Eden is who Rebecca Woods is going to be performing for out there in this Legends Expression session. And it's day 1 of the event window. We've got a huge week coming your way. The positive news, the big news is the fact that this southerly wind has brought a bit of swell our way. So this will be fun. I always love to see where the legends are at, how much they've been surfing, and just see if they've still got it.
Yeah, well, I'm expecting some pretty sensational surfing in this expression session. As you say, swell was non-existent this morning when we rocked up, so the event was put on hold. We knew there was a big southerly blowing up, and it just brings the swell straight in here to Newey and Merewether in particular. And, yeah, we're going to see these absolute legends of Australian surfing, global surfing, competing in this expression session. Pauline Menczer. I saw Pam on the quad.
Yeah.
She's been repping those for a long time now. I think she loves that feeling, looseness, the drive, and it's pretty washy out there, Ron, so probably a good board choice there from Pam.
Good board choice. It looked like Beck Woods, I think, was riding a more traditional thruster, and Pauline Menczer also looked like she was maybe on a thruster, and Jodie Cooper, I think she was riding a twin fin with a little trailer fin in the back there, a little stabiliser. So, yeah, we'll see how the equipment choices work out for these surfers. But really this is, less about competition and winners and losers, and more about celebrating, 4 incredible surfers. Beck Woods, you mentioned the fact that she had multiple victories here at Surfest, but also a World Junior Champ back in 2014. Yeah, sounds about right.
Round about there or thereabouts, but no, well, it was not too many people have racked up big multiple victories. I mean, 3-time champions. Mick Fanning, there's a guy on the men's side of the draw who managed to do it, but yeah, it's one of those comps, you come up here or down to Newcastle or whatever, but I mean, it's just one of the great events on the surfing calendar. There's Beck Woods.
Yeah, I was only 10 years off, 2004.
Oh, there you go.
World Junior title.
Yeah. Well, evergreen.
Well, you know what? Surfest, I'd put down some of that memory loss to all the years that we've come here and commentated Vaughan. It's always turned into a big celebration of surfing. That's what we've got here on a Monday afternoon. As you can see, the waves were just lapping the shoreline this morning. It was tiny, and good 3 foot out there at the moment, and yeah, we'll see what these surfers can get done.
Notice that Pam's still riding the Ravage boards, and that's been a long collaboration, a really successful one. Pam won the 1990 World Championship. I'm always reminded of a great story I heard. Pam was, by that stage, starting to reach the twilight of a career on tour, had come close so many times. I think maybe 5 times world title runner-up, and got it done at Sunset Beach. A wave that is very familiar and a personal favourite to Pauline Menczer. She won her world title out there, and Jodie Cooper was the queen of Sunset. I think maybe a 5-time winner there during her career. So, but it was a magic moment for fans of Australian surfing, for fans of Burridge. And I remember Reg A. Ellis telling me he was driving in his car, and word came through on the radio. Would have been one of the stations he probably worked for, and yeah, he got the news. He pulled over and he started crying. That's how much it meant to Australia, Pam Burridge's world title.
Yeah,
and I think he's still rubbing the tears out of his eyes right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Former event commentator Reg Ellis.
Well, here goes Beck Woods on the back of the ski there, making her way into the lineup here. So once again, if you've just joined us here, day one of the event window, and we've got the Legends Expression Session, the Surfest Expression Session here, celebrating women's surfing, celebrating, as you said earlier, Vaughan, Hall of Famers, Jodie Cooper, Pauline Menczer, Pam Burridge, and yeah, it's great to see. Fantastic.
Jodie Cooper's life story, I've been able to dive into it a fair bit. We've been hanging out a lot over the last few years. She's appeared a few times on our podcast, Ain't That Swell, but I was able to, had the great honour of actually hosting the induction evenings for both Pauline and Jodie. And oh man, you want to know about true grit. You want to know about legends. Like, these two women did so much trailblazing, you know, really had to work so hard for women's surfing, and to achieve what they achieved, really, like, you know, against the odds, is absolutely incredible. Jodie Cooper left home early, packed her car after working in a fish cannery, and drove across the country to compete. And basically, I think she was like 16 or 17 years old. And off she went to become one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, that's right. And I think she was one of the top earning professionals in women's sport. And when she retired, she had amassed only around 150,000, just below that, in career prize money. So, you know, it's a lot different these days towards the back end of a CT season. You win $100,000 for just winning a single event. So, you know, that goes to show the level of commitment that these women had to their sport, their passion. And yeah, it's great to have them out here now to celebrate that dedication as we see the next generation, those surfers who really benefited, you know, following in their footsteps.
Well, they're going to be starstruck in a minute. They've got 4 of the all-time greats about to hit the water, and yeah, Jodie's life story, her years on tour, just so remarkable. Like, you know, so many amazing event wins. What, 17 events during her career? There or thereabouts. And then Pauline Menczer won 20 CTs, Bronny. 20.
Yeah, amazing. And it's not lost on some of the younger female surfers down here watching this unfold. I saw Paige Harrop there, who's obviously competed on the CT before and trying to get back there, and Philippa Anderson.
Number 1 on the ratings at the moment.
Yeah, surfing great, as we see. Now, just these are the surfers basically gearing up for this final.
Jacko.
That is Jacko Baker. He'll be taking his place as the number 1 seed and the reigning champion here at Surfest when he hits the lineup, most likely tomorrow morning. Yeah, looking sharp.
Even just that one turn screams, you know, another level, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Just in this slop to get out there and just put a big Formula 1 hack in like that. Beautiful stuff.
Really love the work that the Surfest team do to make the event happen each year. The crowdfunding for the women's contest is just, you know, I think an innovation in this realm. just having all the local businesses get behind the event, and they don't have the huge financial contribution or the deep pockets to throw everything they've got at this contest. So everyone gets together, they all make a contribution to the contest to ensure that the women's event happens here each year, and then they have a night where they have a lottery basically and pull the presenting sponsor's name out of the hat.
That's so cool.
For the sponsorship of the contest. And this year it's fantastic to see that we've got Speaking in Colour representing as the women's pro sponsor for the contest.
It says so much about Newcastle as a town, such a community.
Here we
It's
go.
a big city, but it's like a little town as well. And Pauline Menczer, the 93 world champ, and surfed so much of her career with debilitating arthritis.
Oh, I love
It was
it.
just so staunch. She just believed with all her heart she was ready to be a world champion. Fought tooth and nail. On the morning of the decider at Sunset Beach, she was barely able to get out of bed, Ron. And she paddled out, but she always said, once she hit the water, for some reason the pain would just leave her body, but as soon as she got back on land, it would almost, basically lay her out. She had to just go straight back to bed, and that was a huge win. Surf was massive that year. I don't know if you remember, but
I do.
big and clean, and Pauline just went crazy out there.
I remember, Pauline being one of the first tour surfers that we actually sort of saw up close. She used to come down to our local beach and train with her coach Steve Foreman, who worked at Mullumbimby High School. I remember he had a poster of her from Sunset that year in the Wood Tech shed where he was working, and it was cool. Definitely was a big year though, and hard to believe that she was able to overcome that pain. I don't think she could even really celebrate the title. She was, so buckled after the competition.
Well, definitely been able to celebrate in the past few years that induction into the Hall of Fame, that incredible award-winning film, Girls Can't Surf. All long overdue props to, not just the wins, but also the hard work that went down in those years. Pauline was, instrumental in basically fighting for equality, fighting for a fair deal for women surfing. And, as you said, the women on tour today have Pauline, Jodie, Pam, Lane, and everyone who was on tour competing with these women to thank for that.
Yeah, I think the most amazing thing about them is when you chat to them. They've got good reason to be bitter and a little, feeling a little hard done by, but they're just amped. They're just so stoked. They love seeing just where the sport is at. They celebrate the wins. I think they're just really glad that things have changed, and I think they're very aware that they were responsible for a lot of that change.
Pauline looking very sharp today, isn't she? Beautiful calves there on that opening ride, and finding a little bit of open face.
Yeah, but one thing I've always loved about seeing, legends of the sport a little later on in their life is the read in conditions, even tricky conditions, and the lines they take on a wave. It's not lost. You might lose a bit of that elasticity and that power, but your read on the wave is something that you just carry forever. And Pauline, she definitely sort of found pockets of energy on a really flat wall just moments ago and threaded it all the way through to the inside. But it's always pretty impressive. It's just another level their read on the ocean.
They do dark-work fans and high-pressure vacuum systems.
It's been fun seeing. I think we can expect big things when we get the competition underway, because there's been some really nice little warm-up waves for the competitors in that QS 5000. But here it is again, the replay, and just biding her time. Look, just finding there's nothing there. That wave's a piece of garbage, but she just finds some little pockets of energy to still thread it together,
and just staying in the pocket, just a beautiful read there. So true. Once you're really top-end surfers, never lose it, and it's hard to really quantify what it is. It's not like you're doing excessive movement. It's actually the economy of movement, isn't it? It's you do less and you seem to always be in the right spot. It's what separates, top-level crew from the rest of us. And beautiful line there from Pauline as we see, yep, the future. So plenty of crew sharing the lineup here. I hope everyone's being very respectful of our Hall of Famers and former event champions.
Give him space.
Jodie Cooper still makes you starstruck, doesn't she, Ron? I was with Jodie not so long ago. She came to a wellness retreat that we were running, and there were a few women there who couldn't believe their eyes. They were like, "Is that Jodie Cooper?" Really, really stunned. Not just because of her contributions to surfing, but also things like appearing in Point Break.
Oh, that was huge.
Huge deal. Just by then, doing things that surfers, mainstream high-level surfers wish they could do. Appear in a major Hollywood feature film and have a bit of a starring role as the stunt woman, and one of the most iconic Hollywood surf edits ever made, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I remember too.
Bodie, Johnny Utah.
Loved all the hidden high-profile surfers in the film. Being able to pick them was awesome.
Who else was in there that you remember?
Dino Andino. Remember him on the beach.
Gets a little bit of hair clipped off.
Yep. But yeah, Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Vince Klein was in it.
Vince Klein was in it. So Jackson Baker there on screen, down here to have a warm-up and watch the Surfest expression session. And yeah, what a fantastic thing to be able to round up all these legends and get them out here in the lineup. And it's not the first time we've had expression sessions like this at Surfest. I think Warren Smith and his team, they really do like to, as you say, Vorno, on the podcast, doff the cap to surfing's greats, and often, in conjunction with Surfest, you have heats like this where you just get to reflect on individuals and their contribution to the sport, and yeah, it's been huge.
Well, one of the all-time great expression sessions was the World Champs. I think at one stage he had every single World Champ up to date. I think it was around about 2000. And every world champ who was living was in that expression session.
That was amazing.
And so you had, everyone from PT, Rabbit, Sean, the two TCs, Tom Carroll, Tom Curran, all the way right through to Barton, Duma, and Sonny and Ock. How about that? So, that was, 76 to 2000 all out in the water.
Yeah, I think Kelly rode a MR too.
He did. He rode an MR twin, did a pretty big float. And now we're reliving that moment right now with some of the all-time great women surfers, world champions, cultural icons, and former Surfest champions. But it's pretty classic, as you said, Ron. We've been coming up here for a long time. The first event, I think, 85. And I did a heap of research into this. I was making a bunch of WSL content for the CT when it came back to Newey. Won by Italo Fiera and Gabe in the final. That was pretty classic conditions, but man, it was fun going through some of the old footage, seeing the winners, Jodie, Pam, Pauline, but then in more recent years, Philippa Anderson doing it for the hometown crowd, Macy Callahan last year, and then on the men's side, far out, everyone, Wilco, Fanning, Neko Patarats, Guilherme Hurdy, sort of signs of the Brazilian Storm before they really kicked into gear with a few big wins there. William Cardozo won here.
Yeah, no, there was, I mean, there's been classic years too. There's been monster surf. There's been tricky conditions, but I think the year Neko won was pumping pretty solid. I think he beat Jared Howes in the final, and that was, I think, when Warren Smith went, you know what, Merewether's the spot for it. Just, on those really big days, it kind of comes to life.
Oh, here's Pam.
Pammy.
That quad looks nice, doesn't it? Sparky.
Yeah.
But Pam Burridge, man, such a legend. Has dipped her toe into other sort of culturally significant moments. Recorded a song with the lead singer of the Celibate Rifles, Damien Lovelock. R.I.P. the late great Damien, and yeah, Pam and the Passions. Do you ever have a listen to that?
Yeah, Summertime. What was the song called?
Yeah, I think that was it. You can check it out on.
Yeah, it's really cool. She's got a good voice, for sure. But yeah, that's that's the amazing thing about all four of the surfers out there at the moment is they've all got amazing stories. They've got incredible accomplishments. They've been recognised not just here in their induction into the Australian Surfing Hall of Fame, but also on the Walk of Fame over there in Huntington, which is fantastic to see. And still heavily involved in surfing. Pam has a surf school down the South Coast. Jodie Cooper is, often pops up on the commentary at different events. Pauline and Beck kind of moved on to other things. Beck Woods, I think she does a lot of work as a physio, but we'll confirm that when she's in the booth over the next week. Pauline's had a number of different jobs, but I loved hearing her talk just on that press junket for the Girls Can't Surf movie, and she was driving buses, and suddenly people were realising they were getting dropped to school by a world champion, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was crazy because she was driving our old school bus.
Yeah. Thank God we weren't on it still. But yeah, she's...
I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Buswell.
Here we go. This is Jodie Cooper now.
Nice.
Hooks one off the top there.
Beautiful little backside bottom turn, top turn combo. It is junky. It's very tricky out here, but far out. What a joy to watch it. Compared to this morning, it was just lapping on the shore. It was barely rideable. But, we have seen some pretty magic moments here at Merewether over the years. Ron, what comes to mind in your memory? You've called events here over the years. Obviously, being big pro surfing fans, we've seen stuff. I remember a big swell that appeared in an early Benithan film called Gripping Stuff. There was MR and Simon Lord just packing monster ones out here.
Oh, yeah, there was footage of
offshore, big ECL, and they are just raining it.
Footage of MR out here in his silver suit too.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty amazing. But as far as the event goes, there's been so much. But it was great, just the energy of having a championship tour event here.
The Morgan John
in 2021, that was so fun to watch. I mean, the surf got pretty good on finals day. There was some amazing surfing. Medina had that big frontside rotation, and then Carissa Moore, she went to the air, did maybe the best air we've ever seen in competition for a woman. That was mind-blowing.
Pauline, little chip shot into this one. Stays with it, and we'll get a double up here, Ron.
Yeah, she's kind of on out here at the moment, Pauline. She's just got that rhythm, little jam in the pocket there. Couple of little swoops.
Oh, my goodness. This is
the ball back out, up.
How good was that wave?
All stick it up, too. She's great to see. But, yeah, that was a couple of nice waves now for Pauline.
Replay here. As you were saying, just such a beautiful read. I mean, that wave looked like nothing, but gets the chip shot and then stands up on the inside. Beautiful snap off the top. There's that classic Menczer style. And one of the things you really hear her say throughout Girls Can't Surf and on that press junket was that when she was young, she'd paddle out at Bondi Beach, her home beach, just as a tiny little grom, and she'd always hear from, if there was an event on the loudspeaker saying, can that little grommet, that little boy just move out of the area? And she had short hair and stuff like that, but, she'd always go, are they talking about me? And she was just so strong from such a young age. Pam Burridge.
Yeah, always just had such a great flowing style, Pam, and yeah, really, when we worked at tracks, when they used to make black and white prints to send off to get the magazine printed, her file was thick. She had a really solid sort of photographic library. Her career was well documented. I think just because her surfing was so photogenic, you know, it just came across so beautifully, and you could tell there just watching her glide across the wave, she's lost none of that style. But yeah, she was a megastar. I love that she had the Akubra sponsorship too. She's always wearing the Akubra.
Iconic. I remember on the cover of Tracks in that Akubra. Part of the McCoy team when she was a little gremlin. Manly Beach, icon. And just one of those surfers, you just never get tired of watching. And here out the back, Jodie Cooper. And I just far out. How many surf movies and photos of Jodie out Sunset Beach when it was 18 foot, doing exactly that, just up in the lip, hovering, just fanging down the face. Really continuing on such a proud tradition of just charging women out Sunset Beach, but one of the first Australians to get over there and just, you know, really put a flag in the sand and just say, we're here, we're ready to charge this joint. And got so much respect in that lineup from heavy hitters too.
I was just thinking back to our Grom days living on the New South Wales North Coast and going up to watch the big CT events, the women's events up at Kira and Greenmount, and getting the autograph of Jodie Cooper, Pam Burridge and Pauline Menczer all on the same day.
That's right. Still got that in a little photo album at home.
That was always so good. So it's it's a rough Monday. It's overcast. There's howling southerly, but for a lot of the Groms down here on the beach, it's going to be their opportunity. So we're really grateful that these greats have made their way to Surfest this year to, you know, grace us with their presence and out there, you know, also I think waving the flag for some of those companies that are really getting behind women's surfing. And we mentioned them earlier, but I want to give them another mention. Austin, the local metal fabrication company, Property Solutions 101, Newcastle's premier buyer's agent, Power Earth, a local engineering consultancy company, and Hyperweb, a website development and digital marketing company. So thank you for your support. And yeah, let's hope we can see Beck Woods on a wave here sometime soon. She's playing the patience game out there at the moment, Vorno.
Yep, well, you don't win 3 times by picking off bits of rubbish, Ron. Wave selection absolutely crucial in these expression sessions.
Yep. And yeah, I think at this point it's just sort of like, have a gamble, give us a show, come on Beck. I remember Beck being one of the most progressive young surfers of her era. You know, full tail blow, front side snaps, beautiful big deep bottom turns. Good performances on the North Shore as well, as we see Pauline up again.
Takes the low road and, oh, man, how's the read there? That wave fluffed out on the outside and here she is just in the pocket and finds a nice gaff. Does peter out on the inside, but I think Pauline's had the best of this heat.
Yeah, I mean, we're not logging scores, but if we were, I think she's got the field combo. Had a couple of keepers, absolute keepers. This is what I'm after, Vorno, but a lift back out on days like today. I think she's enjoying herself out there at the moment. Yeah, that was fantastic seeing Pauline get the nod from the other inductees in the Surfing Hall of Fame here in Oz and earn her place, or take her rightful place amongst the greats.
Well, the cool story was that after the film came out and people had realised that Pauline never got any prize money for first place. Never got a bonus. I think the men's that year maybe got about 20 grand or 25 grand. And so a Kickstarter was fired up. And Pauline, I think that Kickstarter ended up getting around about $50,000. And Pauline just said, you know what, I'll take what the bonus was at the time and donate the rest to charity. So incredible, you know, selflessness from the champ to basically get probably just the inflation, like, to be fair. And still didn't want a bar of it, just wanted to keep it nice and even and give back to surfing, give back to, you know, some organisations that were close to her heart. And that was just a really nice little story that went along with her finally getting her reco.
Yeah, that was awesome. Sophie Marshall was the individual responsible for kicking off that campaign, and it just gathered momentum so fast. But yeah, I did love that. How selfless, just to give it up for the basically she put it towards medical research, right? In just sort of getting behind helping people who suffer from some of those. Is it an autoimmune disease that she had suffered from?
I think it was, that was later on in life, and she also had the arthritis when she was younger. So, yeah.
Still a great story.
Such a battler, just nothing can keep her down, and just true Aussie, true grit icon. Oh my goodness, Pam Burridge, look at this quad just zip-zapping through this soup. Oh, that is really lovely to watch. Pam Burridge, now she gets a turn off the top as well.
So rail
turn
to
back
rail.
the clock, Ronnie.
So rail to rail. Just seamless as she flowed through the first section of this wave. Got a little lumpy on the inside, but took it right through. And yeah. It's those Ravage boards, Forno. They found their way under the feet of some pretty incredible surfers over the years.
Well, I mean, we all know the first wave of Tom Curran at J-Bay is probably marks, well, I don't know if you can put it in a frame, but you can now, can't you? You can put video footage in frames.
I think so. I don't see why not.
Oh, well, one of the most iconic waves ever ridden on a Ravage surfboard, and actually used to live with Mick Ravage for a little while. Good surfer.
Amazing. Here we go, Pam, just taking that one right through to the inside.
Property Solutions 101 have supported Jodie Cooper. Pauline Menczer representing Power Earth and Hyperweb, of course, have none.
Here we go, Pauline.
Oh, it's the big Shane
love
Horan
it.
roll through, the Bondi roll in. I remember a classic wave of Horan at Sunset Beach doing a big old belly ride, and Pauline is just picking off gems here. What a session. And out the back, Jodie Cooper. So really good friends, of course, all these women. And Jodie and Pauline, believe it or not, they used to have like killer doofs up there in the Bruns area when a few years back.
I believe it. That's not hard to believe at all.
That's where Pauline got her nickname, Naughty Pauls.
Here we go. Again, you can see the warm-up continues for our competitors in the QS 5000 here, the Burton Automotive Pro. But we've just been really loving the smooth flow of Pam Burridge on the quad. And Pauline Menczer, who's just had basically every single wave that's come in the last 20 minutes.
I'd like to give a shout out to Sam, Pauline's partner. He's probably watching on, and a shout out to Pauline's Chihuahua.
Yeah, huge shout out. I'm sure that'll be greatly appreciated, Vorno. Yeah, Beck, I just haven't seen her on one just yet. So whether the Groms are just not giving her much to work with, or she's just waiting for that special ride to line up on that outer bank, I'm not sure, but hopefully we see her up in the next few minutes. Big week of competition coming your way as we look to lock in the field, our regional field, which will contest the Challenger Series. throughout the opening stages here in Australia, which is going to kick off on the Gold Coast, and then it will be down to Narrabeen for the Sydney Surf Pro before moving offshore. But it's going to be really intense. Obviously, there's that cut that happens on the championship tour as well. So you've got surfers desperately trying to keep these aspiring pros at bay, but they're also trying to overcome the heartbreak of being bumped off tour. So there's going to be some amazing stories unfolding.
I love this system. I'm just such a big fan of it. The regional tour in Australia is just so robust. There's so many events. There's so many opportunities to really get experience, cut your teeth, sort of design what a pathway to the big leads looks like. And this year has just been so exciting because it's really the first year we've seen it, I guess, develop into itself a bit more. It's, you know, a lot of these events have been around for a long time. Surfest has been going since '85, so, you know, we're really talking about institutions in Australian surfing calendar. But yeah, the status of these events just takes on so much more importance when you're surfing for the finish line. And this is the finish line, Ron. You know, we're going to see our next qualifiers for the Challenger Series by the end of this event. It's just so huge. And getting to see, you know, waves like Snapper and Narrabeen on that Challenger Series. Like Narrabeen, when it was back, just like Surfest, in the CT, you were just thinking, wow, this is a wave we've really missed. A long, rippable left. Like, there's not too many on tour.
It's going to be awesome to see. I always just think about the fact that you've got veterans, you've got surfers coming back from the CT to get surfing those challenges. But even at this regional qualifying series level, like many of the younger competitors are surfing the biggest heats of their lives this week. Will they be able to hold their nerve against experienced rivals, or is it all going to be too much? We're going to find out. The good news is, forecast looking a lot more promising than it has been throughout today, and already we're seeing some good turns laid down in that warm-up session. But you know, this expression session's almost coming to a close. Pauline Mentzer's just been so strong. We've seen the style and flow of Pam Burridge. We've seen Jodie Cooper, you know, like finding little mini sunset apexes out there, trying to get herself to the top of some of the taller waves, and as you said, just hammering down the line. We haven't seen too much of Beck Woods, but she's still got time to show us what she's got.
Okay, 1 minute 20 seconds.
But I've really enjoyed it. I love seeing the different equipment choices for the surfers as well, as Pam, again, just love that knock knee style.
Almost wish there was you know, a big old novelty check at the end of this thing, because the surfing, this would be a killer heat, wouldn't it? We've seen some really strong rides from the Hall of Famers. Pauline, yeah, she's probably running away with it, but Pam has been right there with a couple of her wave selections. Beautiful, zigzagging. And Jodie Cooper just on the tip of the peak, charging down the face. It's incredible how quickly this has picked up.
And in amongst it all, just that warm-up. And, yeah, that's some really nice turns laid down. Probably none better than Jackson Baker. Looking forward to seeing him surf. He'll be the #1 seed here in the Burton Automotive Pro this year. As Pam finds a nice little left here. Jeez, that board looks quick. Nice hook off the top there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That felt good.
that's worth celebrating for sure.
Such a zippy turn, plenty of spray, and has she stolen it in the last few seconds here, Ron?
I think she might have. It's
Just thinking back to Pam's waves, they were really, really good. She's claiming it.
she loves it. You know, often when the waves are kind of really tricky, and you see surfers in celebration like that, it's the celebration that you actually found a wave that could give you a little bit of canvas to work with. But yeah, that was a great turn, fantastic read. That board just has so much speed in it.
As we said, you know, a collaboration that's yielded the ultimate result, a world title in 1990. And look at that. That is just, man, that's flawless quad surfing, really. The perfect board for that section. So much speed, but still holds in. You know, you didn't see any nursing going on there, and a good jam to finish off the expression session.
Yeah, really cool. Earlier, just towards the end of last year, actually, had the pleasure of awarding Pam Burridge and Tom Carroll the Midget Farrelly Awards through Surfing New South Wales. That was so honoured. It all kind of went down at New South Wales Parliament, and Pam was absolutely beaming. Except the awards ceremony hadn't happened in a while because of the pandemic, and Tom Carroll kind of took possession of the perpetual trophy. So Pam's going to have to get it back off him at some point. But massive honour, and Midget's family was there. It was great. She's beaming.
Lots of fun. And that sums up why these women are the legends that they are, man. They just get up in the morning, they are ready to surf, ready to rip in, and that never, ever changes.
So Pam was out there representing Hyperweb, Pauline Menczer for Power Earth, Property Solutions 101 for Jodie Cooper, and it was Ost Eden for Rebecca Woods. Big thank you to those partners for getting behind the Surfest expression session. Forno, I mean, we got to announce a winner. Who for you?
Look, Pam was ripping. I think she got some good waves, but the overall heat, I just thought Pauline was picking off the gem. So I'm going to go with Naughty Pauls, but I think it could almost be a dead heat, really. I think Jodie got some good sets, as you'd expect from her, but not quite the open up. And Beck Woods didn't see a whole lot.
Well, we'll get to see Beck in the booth all week. I think surfing was the winner, mate.
That's
fantastic to tap into the Surfest expression session here on day one of the event window. Tune in tomorrow morning as we look to get the Burton Automotive Pro underway. Round one will be on standby for an early start.
I'm number 23. Every day of my life, the win is all I see. Train harder than most, it's more than a dream. This is reality. I was born to be king. Break the sweat from my soul as I bring sound in and let it go with the form of a javelin throw. Come on, stay on my head to be dope. Wrap my hands up tighter than the rap that he wrote. Then let it float like a butterfly right to your throat. Think it's a joke till you tenderize. Beat you up so bad, your friends will ask which way did he go. Hard to recognize, sorta like the face of a ghost. I'm blazing your boat. Don't think you gon' be staying afloat. The waves on the coast claiming you on your way to the ropes. So let's go. Come on. If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the plaques of kings. 1 in a million, the billions I had to sing. If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the plaques of kings. 1 in a million, the billions I had to sing. I've been a champion for all of my life. As a young and golden medals, more than something I like. I would always look for challenges, the sorcerer's type. Always where the hazard is, left hook, so where the jabbing is. Brought up with the savages, I had to win. Thought about the war long before they brought the battle in. Hashtag warrior, what he channeling. Pick up the ball, then I'ma slam it in. What do you call what's really happening? Slapping with the bat in hand. Full house, now bring it back again. Oh, you lost, get back to hassling. Or hustling hard to get back to the front. Reach for the stars until the day you catching them up. But you ain't never gonna catch me, son. You can call me the immaculate one. Foot the track and you're done. Supersonic, I'm a comic, short the black of the sun. It's 9 back to the 1. If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the plaques of kings. 1 in a million, the billions I had to sing. Come on. If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the plaques of kings. 1 in a million, the billions I had to sing. Come on. If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the plaques of kings. 1 in a million, the billions I had to sing. If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the plaques of kings. 1 in a million, the billions I had to sing. There is no quitting.